let's see. So let's move on over to our primary topic, and this is going to be a little bit shorter episode than usual tonight too,
Mm-hmm.
because we just got the two topics, and we don't know enough to just talk about this. If we
Mm-hmm.
had, and we might at some point get Nick in here and some of our other, we've actually done a couple of Stargate
Mm-hmm.
episodes.
Yeah.
This podcast has existed in the void with where there's
Mm-hmm.
been no new Stargate.
Right.
So we
This
haven't
existed in
done,
the void where we had knew a lot of things.
yeah, but we haven't done a ton of Stargate
Yes.
here because the option would be to go do a rewatch and we've done some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's far and away, like if you kind of look at the traditional, like the classic um sci-fi television shows,
Mm-hmm.
Stargate's my show.
Yeah.
Like I like it more. I love Trek, but I like it more than Trek. I like it more than pretty much all the other like traditional sci-fi series.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really love Stargate.
Yeah.
I feel like we all, as we sort of feel vindicated a little bit as fans. We've you know if you've seen the movie, the send more message on the tissue box, and if you don't remember, and you may not if you weren't really involved in the fandom
of nerd
at the time, when it went away, there was a mail-in campaign to the Sci-Fi Channel, I guess. Or was it or to MGM? Maybe it was both. I don't remember. But it was a mailing in empty tissue boxes with Sendamore Stargate on the side, and they received like I don't even know how many. It was stacks and stacks.
I mean, and here's the thing to remember, though. This is whenever fandoms existed in internet chat rooms. This was before social media.
Well, no.
No?
Not when Universe went off the air.
Oh, when Universe, I thought that was whenever.
This was probably when Atlantis went off the air, but that was just like 2 years prior.
Okay. I guess you're right. I guess social media was a thing then. I thought it was earlier than that.
Well, it was an interesting time. Let me see what the last date episode on Atlantis was.
Last episode of Stargate 2009.
January.
Okay, so yeah, it's kind of in the days before forums.
The forums were still around, but so was the social media thing was
social media was way more fun in like 2009 than it is now.
That's true too, but social media was definitely blooming. But
everyone's grandma didn't have a Facebook account in 2009.
But it was interesting because your core fandoms didn't they had there was an online presence, but it was still maybe the last, because there's always been campaigns to save shows. This is not a new thing. They're pretty much exclusively online things now.
Yeah.
And this may have been one of the last big ones to not be a primarily online.
That you actually had to mail something.
Attempt to save a show.
Yeah.
I got to hand it to the people over at Gate World who have done.
They've been carrying the torch for a minute.
They have. They've really done a lot to keep the fandom energized and going. And
even there was that like minute where they had their own like streaming platform, and they had episodes of like short web episodes of
I don't remember the name of the show they did, the webisodes.
I don't remember. I didn't hate it.
It was okay. It wasn't great.
It was fine.
But it sort of broke tradition with the original story a little bit. But I guess they had to. But it was what it was. But we have not had this is not. This is like if the Next Generation had gone off the air and they just didn't make any more Star Trek.
Yeah.
It was Stargate was that big.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah.
So exactly, let's see. So what is the announcement? So the announcement, and so I want to say it's been a year, maybe 2 years now. MGM was purchased by Amazon. Amazon is going to continue making things under the MGM. Yeah.
Yes. Here's what you find of mostly drama and
yeah, pretty much.
I felt really bad for the people who, like, you know, because there were a lot of people who were like, come on, like, get behind it, because it's Stargate. Like, this is, it was kind of meant to be like a test. Like, ooh, do people want Stargate enough? But it's like, no, people don't want Stargate enough to watch a subpar show.
Right.
And now Universe came on and started in 2009. So Universe actually picked up right after Atlantis went off.
Yeah.
But it only lasted for 2 seasons. And man, it was really just starting to pick up.
Yeah, well, they finally figured it out.
Did not enjoy Universe there for a minute.
No, I had a friend that I had convinced to get into Stargate, had never watched Stargate, started with Stargate Universe, and he called the first season Jerks in Space.
Yeah, they were so terrible. They were all so horrible.
So, but by season 2, they figured it out. In fact, had they not figured that out, I'd actually be kind of concerned about this show. But where it stands right now, I feel really, really good about this show, especially given the roller coaster that we've kind of been on as far as what we were going to get. Right. So when we first got the announcement that Amazon, or when we first started hearing rumblings, and Amazon had the rights, and the word we got, because everybody was saying, we want more Stargate and we want Brad Wright attached. Like, we don't want it if you're not going to attach Brad Wright.
Yeah, well, because there was talk of like, oh, Dean Devlin's going to come back and make more Stargate and totally
well, that was a little different. So what Dean Devlin, Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin said, we're going to make more movies, which would have basically made all the TV show alternate timeline. And the thing is, Devlin and Emmerich were not huge fans of SG-1. Now, I don't know how they felt about it later on, but they always felt like the people making the TV show had screwed up their story. So there is one thing, the only thing that gives me pause on this show, and we'll get there in a minute. But, you know, what we were hearing was that Amazon wanted to basically reboot the Stargate show.
Right.
And they wanted to do it with all new people attached. Like, they didn't want Brad Wright. Brad Wright had actually written a pilot. They rejected it, is what we heard. And they wanted to go a whole new direction with Stargate. And this given the time period when this is, that's an immediate red flag. I'm so glad nothing happened there. But now what we get an announcement the other day, screen pops up, and they actually did the podcast with the folks from Gate World, which was awesome. Let them be part of the announcement.
Yeah.
And so that, to me, that's huge, that they came to the people that have been carrying the torch for the original 3 series and said, we want you to be a part of this announcement. That's huge. Second thing they did that we didn't find out till a little after that is they went to the legacy actors ahead of this and told them the announcement was coming. So that means that they wanted to maintain a relationship with the legacy actors. That's huge.
Yep.
Especially since there are several that could come back here.
I mean, like, I really felt like they left, you know, like the last season of Universe, really,
Universe
like,
is an open-end story, and I do think that we will at some point here get I don't know that the story will be directly there, but at some point they're going to give us an ending to that story.
They've got to.
Well,
And
they're
honestly,
going to, you know, good and well that they're not going to be able to leave that alone. If they're going to get to come back and tell stories, and we know them, even if they have to do it through time travel, they're they're going to tell us the end of that show.
Yeah.
So,
but I really like. So many of those characters really came into their own, but especially Eli did.
yes.
By the end of the second season, like Eli had really gone from like the slacker, you know, who just sort of like fumbled his way onto, you know, fumbled his way onto the mission to like really holding his own.
They might very well do that, but that's not generally the way that Joseph Malozzi and Brad Wright operate. They're very, very likely to tell us this story on screen.
Now we might get.
They could even do it now.
Flashback episode.
Well, now that we've gotten something moving forward, you know, Atlantis never got its movies.
That's true.
So maybe if we get this show and it's going well, maybe we finally get to bring the Atlantis crew back and wrap those stories.
Probably
properly.
Without Ronan.
You don't think he would come back to do a Stargate?
Maybe. He might, but I mean, he's got to be so expensive.
If he, you know, I don't know.
Jason Momoa, by the way. You're not if you're not in the know, Jason Momoa was on the last 4 seasons of Atlantis. Yeah, we saw a couple of the actors from Atlantis, and somebody said something about Ronan. They're like, that guy. Too bad his career never went anywhere. Yeah, so he's going places.
Yeah, Dave Filoni. Yeah,
you know,
as they do,
as one does.
I will give it to them. I don't really know of anything that they have the thing is, like we've talked about, though I'm not going to go deep into this. Like, I like the everything's connected aspect of the books, comics, TV show, movies, but I don't recall anywhere
that they retconned
that I didn't like the retcon better than the original.
Yeah. I know,
and maybe I'm forgetting something, but everything that I can remember off the top of my head.
I know it's kind of the thing to hate on Dave Filoni right now, but I still really like Dave Filoni. I haven't, I don't think everything he's done has been perfect, but overall, I really feel like he's got a better feel for Star Wars than most people.
I mean, he certainly understands George Lucas's Star Wars in a way that a lot of other people don't, and the benefit of learning it
from George Lucas,
and the benefit of just being a lore hound himself. Which I think just comes with part of him being a massive Lord of the Rings fan. That he's a bit of a lore hound, and so he's
he worked on Avatar too.
Yeah, but he, we'll see. Like Tony Gilroy kind of called him out on some of the changes to Sabine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a couple of days ago.
Dave, I trust. Yeah, I'm with you. Whenever we went to Celebration a couple of years ago, I tried to convince Andrew to grow just a little bit of scruff, not much because I don't like it, but I wanted to grow just a little bit of scruff and wear the hat and just go as Dave Filoni.
I got my hat.
Yeah, I just wanted him to go as Dave Filoni for the week, but
my hat back there on the Mando helmet. Because I don't have a hat holder, so the hat sits on a Mando helmet.
It does, naturally.
It works.
But all that to say, Stargate.
So it's not like bad. Like, I mean, he didn't just like totally go off. Cause I mean, they are buddies, but he did an interview and he kind of talked about, they had intentionally, the way that Filoni's going with Sabine in the show is a direction that they talked about and made a decision intentionally not to do back in Rebels. So maybe Dave looked at it and said, maybe now it works, and it didn't then, but it didn't sound like Gilroy was exactly on the same page, but I don't think they're
Sabine as a Jedi.
Yeah. because she was really developing into her own kind of warrior, becoming a
Mhm.
Mandalorian warrior and all this and that.
Mhm.
I still sort of wonder if Dave is still thinking about trying to hand the dark saber off to Sabine at some point.
Maybe.
Never know with him because he is thinking way out usually, like far ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He does like
But
to do that.
yeah, the Force stuff was a little jarring. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I think we did a whole episode on that, and we probably will again before the next season of the show comes out. Dive into it again, but yeah. So there was no inclination of it all at all in Rebels because apparently they pointedly decided. Apparently they explored it and decided it didn't work. Actually, I think what they said, what Gilroy said they decided was that it just seemed like a rehash of Ezra's story.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but we'll see what they end up doing.
Nick is like Stargate.
Stargate, yes, we summoned you.
We did. We said Stargate 3 times, and we thought we'd see if it summons a Nick, and it did. Yeah. It did.
So where were we? Oh, so we there was concern about what Amazon might do with this show.
I mean, there's always concern whenever a property changes hands like that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, look at what has happened to Star Trek over the years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see that happen. I'd rather not have any more Stargate than to see them do something like that. Now, they almost did it with Universe, like right off the bat, because they wanted, that was during that time when Galactica had just totally changed the way everybody thought sci-fi on TV needed to be done.
Right.
And season 1 really leaned into that. They didn't love it. And then they kind of rotated over to, when we got to season 2, they were really starting to figure it out. They were figuring out how to make you like the characters. And of course, those are the same people that, made the original.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that could be very well be what happened, but I don't know. Like, I don't know at what point, like, anyone was able to strike down Filoni's ideas other than George.
Yeah.
And of course, this was all post George.
Yeah. So yes, I think going back to the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that really I how did it remind you of Enterprise?
Well, I mean, Nick's listened to a lot more like interviews and stuff than I have. So
no, that's not an association I would like automatically make. Although like the like I guess like storyline wise, just as like the ship you can't leave, right? So that's definitely I guess that would definitely kind of track. But it definitely had a much darker tone than
correct. Like, I'm not 100% sure. Is Bond? I guess Bond is also part of Amazon properties now.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's correct. But yes, I mean, anytime you move these properties over, it's kind of like, technically Disney owns Firefly.
Right.
Now, and so there were some rumors early on there where they just wanted to like just totally do their own thing. My whole thing is like, I don't want you doing, given that they're not going to bring Joss Whedon back to work on it.
Yeah, no.
Like, you've got to bring somebody on board that understands the show. And I don't know who that is. I mean, maybe you bring Jed Whedon and Marissa Tanchuin, is that his wife's name? Maybe you bring them back.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they work directly on Firefly, but at least maybe like they understand it. I don't know, but I think it would be hard to make Firefly without I just kind of don't want them to make, like, the longer that's gone, I'm just like, Fireflies is
Just
perfect little.
I mean, we got a movie.
Yeah.
Finished off, the story. Just leave it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. So the same production team that did The Next Generation through Voyager, and they didn't want to make another do something. All right. Well, since this is going to be going on the audio show, I'll go ahead and read it. So the same production team did The Next Generation through Voyager, and they didn't want to make another Next Generation era ship. They wanted to do something different, and the writers on Stargate wanted a different feel. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is maybe Deep Space Nine kind of got some similar.
It's a little more,
darker,
yeah, a little,
bit.
yeah.
But like,
I want to address this real quick.
Yeah.
Justice League. Here's the thing, and I don't know how you feel about the director's cut of Justice League, the Snyder cut. In my opinion, Joss Whedon was tasked with saving an absolutely garbage movie and just did what he could with some reshoots. I hated both versions, and I think I hated them equally.
Yeah.
Like the
Snyder cut was just, oh my God. It was just so much. Yeah.
Nick, at some point, I want to get you on here to actually talk some Stargate with us. Travis, welcome to the chat.
Yeah.
Nick, I do want to get you on here to talk about this, because obviously have joined us for the most Stargate stuff, and I'd like to actually see if we can get a couple more people, have a little round table ourselves here, talk about our expectations.
So they were burned out on writing 4 people go through the gate. They wanted to show that was different. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, they told, they had, obviously, you had your arcs and things, but they told very similar stories for a long time. So I do understand that they were kind of wanting to explore something different.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't hate the premise of Universe.
No.
I just hated how terrible everyone was. Everyone was terrible.
Yeah. Not everybody got better, but at least enough of the characters got better in season 2 to make it enjoyable.
The whole like mind swapping body thing that everybody was doing, and then going and like hooking up with their partners and somebody else's body, was so icky. It was really, really icky.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. And they didn't just they just kept on and on and on, and they just kept it. And I was really over it by the end of season 1. But it did get better.
But I think the big things here, let's see, what is the guy, the person that Martin? Yes, Martin Garrow is going to be, I guess, running this. But the nice thing is we've got, not going to go, like I said, not going to go super deep here, because it's not just ton to go super deep on.
Yeah.
Like I said, we like that they reached out to the original the legacy cast. The fact that they looped Gate World into this whole announcement, those speak really well. Michael Shanks has made some comments on it. He, and advocated for more bottle episodes, which is, honestly, that's what they need to do. That's,
I think so.
I mean, I wanted some arcs.
Yeah.
But like the bottle episodes are where you really get to learn about your characters in different scenarios. And then you're not hemmed into needing to make sure that we do continuity in the next episode for that. We can just do that episode and then we move on. It's not that we throw it away, but it doesn't necessarily affect what we're doing next. Nick says, my biggest concern is Martin Garrow's showrunner. He did some of the best Atlantis episodes, but he did a horrible Quantum Leap reboot. Yeah, so I didn't realize he was the one that did that Quantum Leap reboot. The thing is I feel good about here is that he is the showrunner, but Brad and Joe are involved. And that, now, the one thing, and Nick and I talked about this through chat the other day, is that's kind of got me thrown for a loop because I'm not sure what it means is that Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich are EPs.
Yeah.
Now, you've worked on stuff, good. I mean, we know that an EP might just be like, hey,
we throw him lots of money.
We throw him some money, but it also can be like, we want to acknowledge that you created this.
Yeah, it can definitely be a courtesy thing.
And so they could be involved. We know that that Devlin and Emmerich had conversations about making movies, more Stargate movies. So maybe they're involved. Maybe they're involved. Maybe they're not. It could just literally be a courtesy.
Yeah, and I think honestly that's probably best.
I don't see. I mean,
although
I can see Dean Devlin getting involved.
I was going to say, that being said, Dean Devlin's
a TV guy,
and he's a damn good writer. Like absolutely one of my favorite. Honestly, maybe one of my favorite shows. One of the shows that I just feel was consistently the most solid is Leverage. Like Leverage has very few, especially the original run of Leverage has very few like dips. It's very consistent, and it doesn't like go off on weird tangents and do weird stuff. It's very consistent and very consistently good.
Yeah. So I can see, and I wouldn't hate for Dean Devlin. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. So, I'm going to read this just in case I do put this on the audio. So Nick says Dean Devlin has gotten into TV producing, and 3 years ago, he actually took Brad Wright out to lunch, buried the hatchet, and talked to Brad about possibly doing a non-Stargate show together. That's awesome. Probably not happening now that they're making a Stargate together, but I would not hate Dean Devlin's involvement at all.
Hey, I mean, I've watched Leverage in space.
Yeah, I mean, Leverage is a great show. Like, so I have no issue with Dean Devlin. I don't see Roland Emmerich really being that hands-on with something like this. He's primarily, correct me if I'm wrong, but primarily a big screen guy.
I don't know. I couldn't speak to that, honestly.
He hasn't made particularly good things, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yes, he did that 19. He did The Patriot.
Okay.
So he's got some good stuff mixed in here. Independence Day, Stargate, Universal Soldier. But then he also did
10,000 BC, 2012. Yeah. Okay.
He did some
kind of hit and miss.
Yeah. So he's hit and miss, but like, not like a terrible writer. He just he likes to do some kind of weird stuff sometimes. But again, mostly a movie guy. I don't know that I see him being particularly hands-on, but
yeah. Now that is absolutely okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So again, and I do have to agree, the Patriot, to say the Patriot is fantastic might be an understatement. Like,
oh yeah,
that is absolutely.
So I mean, like, looking down his list, I mean, there's a handful of, like, of course, I put Stargate up there. Stargate is a horribly underrated sci-fi movie.
Oh yeah, it's excellent.
And Independence Day, that's a summer classic. And then Patriot is one of Mel Gibson's best, and that's saying a lot,
right?
So yeah, it's two more really talented guys in your back pocket, and honestly, they can probably pull more money than Wright, and
yeah, it'll be really interesting to. I mean, the thing is, they definitely have the pieces in place to do something really special, I think.
Sure. Yeah. And of course, I think we should get Nick on, and Nick might have to help me figure out who some of the other big Stargate people in our circle are.
I think somebody was saying back here that they had been watching Stargate.
I think that was Spencer said he had been watching it, but
Yeah.
I think that was too far back for me to find it. But yeah, if you want,
yeah, right here. It's good, right.
If you want to watch some Stargate and get in on a conversation, but at some point, Nick, I'd like to have you on to talk about what we think they should do, because there's a few obvious choices and then maybe a few less obvious choices with what they could do with this story. I mean, I pretty much anything Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich want to work on together, I'm going to go watch it. You know, they're both clearly very talented individuals. But I don't want it, like, hopefully that everybody can get on the same page. I'm assuming by the fact that this is moving forward, that everybody that's going to be working hands-on is sort of on the same page.
Surely, right? So this is an interesting question. The big question: who do you want to be a lead in a new Stargate? So I think the first question is, do we want somebody new, or do we, obviously when they decided to make a Stargate show, initially they went and got Richard Dean Anderson, who was kind of a fixture right at that point. However, Michael Shanks, Amanda Tapping, Christopher Judge were all, kind of newcomers, at least in American TV. I think they've been seen in a lot of Canadian TV before that.
Yeah.
But
I guess for me, it's like, I don't know who I want to play the lead. I mean, I think we're going to get all new kind of main characters. Now, if we're going to, who's going to be our commanding officer, like, please, like, I would love to see either RDA or, what's her name? I'm going to blank, that plays Samantha Carter.
Amanda Tapping.
Amanda Tapping. I'd love to see either one of them come back in some capacity. I want to see Michael Shanks back involved. That dude is so talented and does not do enough stuff. So, like, I want them back involved, but, like, I think if we want to mix it up now, like, I think we're at a point, I think we reached a point technologically in Stargate where we can have a lot of things going on at once. Like, we don't have to have Stargate on Earth and Stargate Atlantis. Like, we can literally have stories happening in both places. We've got some of the best ships in all of sci-fi. Like, I've been clamoring for a new show strictly about a fighter wing since oh gosh, man,
they introduced that
Space
ship.
Above and Beyond went off.
Oh yeah.
And Galactica did that a little bit. It is a little different. And I don't think that they need to do that with Stargate, but, like, we could get some characters, we could get multiple teams going here, depending on what kind of budget we're getting. And I don't know who I want that person to be, but I think we don't necessarily have to do, like, SG-1. We basically started every episode in Cheyenne Mountain. That's where most everything took place. And then Atlantis, you have the control room on Atlantis, but you can bounce around these locations now. We don't have to hem it into one. So I don't know. I kind of want to see. I mean, I think they need to bring someone on that's sort of a known commodity, at least in the start, and maybe someone new. But I mean, I think that they definitely need to bring the originals back. Let's see. I saw Wyatt Russell. I mean, I'm pretty much never going to say no to Wyatt Russell or Katie Sackhoff at this point.
Kurt Russell was the original Jack O'Neill, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that would definitely be a really interesting. Now, of course, Jack. So
there are people that I will always advocate for
in anything.
Yeah, that's one, and that's one. Put them in anything.
Yeah,
like, so Alan Tudyk or
shoot, what's her name? Chloe Bennett.
Chloe Bennett.
Yeah, you know who else I would watch in just about anything is Brett Dalton.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in
Brett
anything.
Dalton would actually. I think Brett Dalton could be a really interesting one for this show.
Yeah,
I think
so.
he fits the mold.
Mm-hmm.
For a Jack type character.
Yeah. Because I mean he can be legitimately funny, but he can also be pretty dang scary.
Yeah.
And honestly, like by the time they finally wrote him off for the third or fourth or seventh time on on whatever that show was, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah.
It was like, okay, like this now it's dumb. Now it's dumb.
But yeah, I mean, there's a few names that I would love to see. I mean, Alan Tudyk is one of those. I mean, he clearly still enjoys doing TV, and his show just went off.
The actor who played young clone Jack wants to come back. That would definitely be an interesting one.
Yeah. Well, you could. I mean,
what about Cassandra? Cassandra's still around somewhere.
Yeah. So there are some sort of legacy characters that you could pull back in here. And you know, the questions about like, are we now in a world where the gate has been revealed to the public? You know, if you want more drama, that's your answer right there. But
it sounds like Nick said up there that pitch got shut down.
Nathan Fillion would be a really good one, but Nathan Fillion, I think, intends to do the Rookie as long as they will absolutely let him. That doesn't mean he couldn't also do this, but like well, I guess for starters, I guess it depends on how many episodes we're going to get. And that's a whole different conversation. That's actually a conversation we had last week because I'm really sick of 8 episodes. Like, at least give me 12.
Yeah.
Like, at least give me a half season. I still consider a season of TV to be 22 to 24 episodes.
Right.
So at least give me half.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're keeping it 10 to 12 episodes a season, maybe you could pull a Nathan Fillion. And that's another actor I'm never going to say no to. In fact, I mean, pretty much anybody that was on any of the cast of Firefly would be a win here.
Yeah. Or really anyone who was on the cast of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for that matter. That was a really stacked cast, especially the initial cast.
Well, which one?
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Clark Gregg, anyone?
Yeah, I mean, it ain't like he's out there doing tons and tons of stuff.
No. We already had Ming-Na Wen. Her character was kind of unpleasant, though. Again, jerks in space. Everybody was a jerk.
Of course, when I say, anybody from Firefly, I mean, Adam Baldwin already did a couple of episodes of Stargate.
You're right. I remember
some kind of military commander, maybe one of the Marines or something. But
yeah.
But he's already been in it. Let's see. Travis has got some recommendations. Donnie Wahlberg, Keegan-Michael Key, Justin Bartha. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton, and I think we need. I would say the one thing I've noticed with this list that we've named here, most of these people are in their 40s or 50s.
That's true.
Like, and that's fine. We need some of those characters, but I don't know who the younger people, like we need young military age characters as well. So 20 somethings. Yeah. Now I think Chloe Bennett probably still pull that off.
Yeah.
But Alan Tudyk's not going to pull that off.
No. He's the old,
I mean, I just say
curmudgeon-y man.
Yeah. I mean, if you bring Alan Tudyk in, though, you got to bring him in to make him play an alien or a robot, right?
Yeah.
That's what he does these days.
Yeah. For that matter,
there we go. Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, of course. Gotta see Timothy Chalamet and everything.
He is the kind of the one right now. I will be honest, I really didn't think much of Timothy Chalamet until that second Dune movie, and he kind of blew my mind in that movie.
Yeah, he kind of did. I mean, you've got a couple of really promising young actors working on Percy Jackson right now.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. One of the franchises is going to scoop Walker Scoble. He's not a long-term. He's not a TV actor.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him on something like this. He might be a little young to do it right now. I still think that.
Young,
how old is Walker Scoble?
He's got to be 18. I think
16 years old.
He's only 16.
Yeah.
He's younger than I thought. Okay. Yeah. Barry Keoghan.
Walker Scoble is one of those guys that's likely to. I still think DC or Marvel will grab him at some point, and he'll do that for the next 10 years. Like if we didn't already have a Spider-Man, like you'd be looking at him going, "There's your Spider-Man."
Yeah. I mean, he is, 12 years younger than our current Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. How on earth did that happen?
So I think there's a long list of actors. And at some point, I mean, obviously this means that I get to start talking about Stargate a lot more. And I think that with the folks at Gate World looped in, I think we'll get to hear progress. I don't think it's going to be total radio silence. Sometimes you get an announcement and then 2 years later you finally hear something. And I don't think it's going to be that. I think we're going to get some news along the way. Jared Padalecki. Why do I know? I know that name, but I can't put a face to it.
Yeah, he's familiar, but I don't remember what I've seen him in.
From Supernatural.
Okay, yeah. There's always that.
I feel stupid now because I definitely know that, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with names, y'all.
So yeah, I think there are a lot of really.
I think we need a couple of names, and then we need hopefully some sort of newcomers, not like brand new, like untested, but and I don't know who those people are right off the top of my head, but I am I'm very excited about this. Like, I mean, I think that the fandom, honestly, it's probably akin to the way the fandom felt to some extent when George Lucas said he was making the prequel trilogy. The ones that were still reading the books and still following the lore and sort of keeping the fandom, sort of keeping the love for the show, or the movies in that case, but the show in this case, alive. You have to feel a little bit vindicated that it's finally happening. And I have real high hopes.
Ooh, what about Haley Steinfeld?
Haley Steinfeld would be fantastic, unless she's fixing to become like
Hawkeye,
face, a face in the MCU.
Yeah.
And I think she has to show up in one of these next two Avengers films.
Jared Padalecki that's great.
They said they've been working on it for the last 18 months. So this announcement was going to start getting leaks. That's awesome. Nick, did they give us any indication of a timeline? Because when they made this announcement, I just kind of assumed 2 years. But if we're already a year and a half into development, that makes me think that it could be less than 2 years. Maybe not. I guess we'll see. But I figure probably 2027 before we get this show. So I got to keep my podcast alive till this comes out so I can do Stargate segments.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Nick has to keep podcasting so that he can do Stargate segments with me.
Yep.
That one would be big. That would be a big enough a show that would be the kind of show that I would watch the new episode and then walk in here and record an episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's not a lot of those shows out there right now. That would be one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, there's...
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to have to kind of go down the rabbit hole and yes, time travel has definitely been done in Stargate a couple times, actually.
With more or less success.
Yeah.
Sometimes better than others.
Nothing went terribly wrong, really. But
yeah.
It's not primarily...
They kind of had to clamp it down. They kind of had to, because it was getting sort of out of hand. So they had to be like, oh, can't do that. No more.
Yeah, point. I guess it depends, Patrick, on what the CGI is going to look like. Because this kind of been a running topic for us here is like, I still haven't reached the point where I necessarily need my TV shows to look like movies. So are we going to look like a movie, or are we going to look like the Orville?
Yeah.
Orville did a great job. I just don't know that. I mean, it could take them 2 years to pump out that CGI.
Maybe not.
But the old show did a lot faster than that. Yeah. And they were doing 22, 23 episode seasons.
Oh, this is a good point. Nick says they did hint at the 30th anniversary, 2027. I mean, honestly, that seems sort of golden, right?
Yeah, 2027 kind of is what sticks in my head is probably the reasonable release date. So
yeah,
I guess
that seems reasonable to me.
But we're going to do more, and as we get leaks, we'll definitely cover them. But I kind of now want to just sit down and do some Stargate episodes. So I'll be in touch with if you're in the Stargate friends. If you're in the Discord, I'll drop stuff there, and if you're in a chat with me elsewhere, I'll drop stuff there. And if you're not in any of those places and you want to record Stargate stuff with us, then find me on Twitter at @sci_fictionary and send me a message. And if you want to be part of the Discord, send me a message and I'll drop you a link if you can't find the Discord. But it's the Science Fictionary Podcast Discord, and I believe it's searchable. So let's see.
Yeah.
What did Travis say? I'm in season 2.
I knew in the season 2 premiere of Mando, when the crate dragon burst out of the mountain, that TV shows looking as good as movies was going to cause issues later. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not enough. There just frankly aren't enough CGI houses to deal with everything.
And also like we had this whole conversation when we were talking about David the other day. Like they turned out season 2 6 months after season 1 premiered.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like clearly they were anticipating it and they were ready for it. But still, that means they managed to film it, edit it, and get it on the TV in 6 months.
Yeah. The only thing here is I'm assuming they're going to have to, Nick probably knows more about this than I do, but I doubt very little of the original set material still exists.
Oh yeah. That seems very likely.
And some of those are, some of that's big builds.
Yeah.
Some of the just building Stargates and ship models, even if you're just digitally modeling them, can take a while. So I don't know how much.
It's been long enough. Some of those, especially.
I think a lot of that stuff was sold off.
Well, even digital models, the software is probably really outdated by now. So, then it becomes as more of a problem to transfer it than it is to
rebuild it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can already tell you it's probably easier to rebuild them. Yeah, I think you could do a tremendous amount in the volume with Stargate. I'm not if you want anti-volume rhetoric, go talk to Ro at the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. I'm all on board with for TV shows. And I think we're going to find that eventually that it's going to work well in some movie situations.
The Stargate does feel, go ahead and put this up because Stargate does feel like it's made for the volume, though. That way every planet looks like a Canadian forest.
Hey, maybe they want to come, we've got a nice brand new soundstage right down the street and lots of forests around. in a small town that looks like New Orleans. So,
Hey, because I mean, you need every planet to look like New Orleans,
right.
obviously.
I mean, I think like the fact that we haven't gone to a New Orleans planet yet, it's kind of disappointing.
I mean, yeah, it really is. Heaven knows we've gone through enough cheesy like knockoffs of. Okay, and just like let it be said.
Go ahead.
The whole like, ooh, it's a medieval planet. Ooh, it's an ancient Roman planet. Like my least favorite trope in sci-fi. Unless it's like these are the beings that inspired, Greek mythology. Okay, great. We'll 100%. Go with that.
Absolutely.
Yes. The same way OG Tech.
Look,
like a desert,
and obviously
Hawaiian island or a cave.
Yeah, and I think they'll probably get a little more adventurous with it at this point. But like, sliders.
Yeah.
They just went to New York or Chicago or LA. Like, and I love sliders. But yeah, I mean, that's just, you use what you got. And
the worst one was the planet where Texas took over the world and everywhere was Texas. And George Bush was king of the world because clearly it was the 90s.
That's the only thing wrong with that. The only thing wrong with that. The only thing wrong with that planet is that George Bush was king.
Hey, word is there's lots of movies happening in Texas. If you're that crazy about it, we can just yeehaw right on over there.
I'm just saying, if one state was going to take over the whole world, like,
yeah. All right, except
like you want that or a whole planet full of Florida men?
Yeah, no. Except that time Rodney went to the planet that was being controlled by what he thought was a video game in Atlantis, and it was basically that they've been playing Age of Empires with real people. Yeah, that was very like Ender's Game.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, so we'll see. There's a lot of questions here. Like, I can't wait to find out who the cast is. Can't wait to hear stuff about potential involvement of legacy actors. I want to know who our villain, like who are our villains at this point?
Yeah, I mean, because
I'll be honest, like I don't feel like it ever got better than the Gold.
No,
like,
I don't think so.
And so maybe we can find a way to go back.
Okay, but it did get way worse. I never want to see the Ori ever again. The Ori were objectively the worst thing in Stargate ever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It must include Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. Matthew McConaughey is as the president of Texas World.
Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, so this is pretty funny. That Tremors movie that was supposed to be in the snow. They just took a desert and put a blue-white filter over it. That's epic.
Well, that's what I like, TV shows like Stargate. Just if it's supposed to be nighttime, you just slap a blue filter on the.
It's magically
and night. It's like, you're looking at it and you're going, it's clearly daytime with a blue filter.
Although,
but if you're in the volume.
Right. You can do that. Because, honestly, like from where I'm sitting, the most glorious thing about the volume is that you can shoot during daylight out. You can shoot during reasonable hours every single day.
Yeah.
You can shoot from 8 to 8 every day.
Yeah. If you're, you don't have to shoot 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. If you're shooting night.
Yep. The Doctor Who was worse. They literally went to the UK as an intergalactic spaceship. Oh my gosh, yeah. And it's like, everywhere they go, they always land in London. Like whatever the world, the weird variation of the world is. It's yeah. I saw it in action. We were filming a TV show right on the edge of night. They immediately slapped a blue filter on the lights. Yep. It's always interesting to see these things.
But I'm just saying, like they could film Stargate right here in Natchez.
It's true. It is hard, like legit night shoots are expensive though. Like, the lights are expensive. You have to have the right kind of, grips and gappers and all the things. Like, I understand
well,
why
and
they
it's also
slept.
more expensive to shoot on location
Mm-hmm.
than in a soundstage,
Mm-hmm.
which means, so if you're doing night shoots, you're clearly doing both.
Right.
So yeah, I had not really thought about the volume as part of this project, but volume seems.
I'm sorry. This conversation is taking on a life of its own over here. The Master of the Universe movie where they're on Earth and teleport one piece of an alleyway to Eterna, and all the characters stay in front of it for the rest of the movie. You know, the things we do for budgets. Oh my gosh.
But no, I'm really excited about this. I will be interested in finding out. Like, I mean, are they going to go back and film in Canada?
I'm sure they will. Like, if they don't go back and film in Vancouver, I will be shocked.
But where is Amazon filming most of their stuff these days? I mean, obviously, this is
England.
I mean,
it's Stargate. You got to shoot Stargate in Vancouver.
why?
I mean, I feel like Vancouver deserves it.
I feel like Vancouver don't deserve much of anything, to be honest with you. Vancouver's part of the problem up there,
but it would be like if they decided, you know, to shoot, you know, I don't know, something that's whatever. It's just always been a thing. It's always been their thing. Like I if I were them, I'd be offended if they moved it. Not that they, you know, not that MGM probably cares all that much, but you know.
Yeah. So I guess we'll find out where they're shooting. The thing is, there's also way cheaper places to go shoot. And like, I'm joking about Natchez, obviously, but
yeah,
New Orleans would be a hell of a place to shoot it.
Yeah, that's true. And the nice thing about New Orleans is you have a lot of options. You have urban areas. You can drive
You drive 30 minutes, you're in the woods.
You can get the woods. You can get nice open, you know, plains.
You drive an hour, there's beaches.
You got beaches. You got swamps. You know,
yeah,
you have a lot of options.
So I don't know.
Okay, if Stargate films in New Orleans, we're moving to New Orleans. Deal?
You get a job in New Orleans. You get a job on Stargate filming in New Orleans, and we'll move to New Orleans. I am not moving to Vancouver.
I actually have a friend who worked makeup on Atlantis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, you know, and Nick is right. A lot of the legacy actors are in Vancouver.
That's but I don't know that they're going to cater to the legacy actors on this.
That's true.
I think, you know, we're more likely to see them do what makes the most sense budget-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think,
and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Filming in Canada is crazy expensive. Mm-hmm. Even not like considering in the tariffs and stuff. Filming in Canada, like filming in Vancouver, isn't any different than what it's going to cost you than like filming in LA. I mean, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That, and like, you know, there's parts of the year where you really don't want to film much in Canada.
That's true. Yeah. It's not very temperate.
You know, parts of the year you don't really want to film stuff down here either. But if you're just shooting B-roll, you do it anyway.
Yeah.
Cajun Gate.
Yes. I mean, like, honestly, like there's a gate, you know, like, you know, under the city of New Orleans or something. Like, I mean, it could be a thing. Like, you know, the rednecks and the Cajuns, or, you know.
Yeah, just a whole team of You're just sending Cajuns through the gate.
Oh God.
I think, like, you know,
they discover all sorts of weird things. Like, everywhere they come back, they're like, we can eat this.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, a Cajun never met anything they didn't at least try to eat.
Yeah. Because if you ever seen a crawfish, it shouldn't be eatable.
It looks like a lobster. Of course, people didn't think those were edible. They were fed to, you know, poor people for a long time before people figured out they were pretty good if you put enough butter on them.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, down here we learned if you put enough seasoning on crawfish, they're pretty darn good. Now, you do not want to eat an poorly seasoned crawfish.
No, tastes like mud.
Yep.
Very bad.
Hey, look, this has been a whole show of derailments. It's almost like we're doing the audio podcast, but it's fun. I love having y'all in the chat, and I'd sit on here every night and let y'all derail my conversations if I had enough people in the chat.
I didn't know that Deep Space Nine filmed in New Orleans. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff films in New Orleans. Like, I mean, it's a big film hub. So like, I'm just saying, if they were to leave Vancouver, and I kind of think they probably won't, unless budget dictates. I think they'll probably go back to Vancouver because that's what they know. The people running it know that area, so they probably go back to Vancouver. Just saying, if it's not Vancouver, New Orleans makes tons of sense.
That's true. Completely disinterestedly.
Yeah, like I mean, you know, obviously I'd love for them to be filming it there, but like I think just, you know, budget wise, facility wise, they have everything that you could want to make a movie in New Orleans. Yeah, 100%. And that was, I mean, everything. Like, you go back and look, I mean, there are movies that I know are like cheaply made and they're still great. Like, and of course that always, you know, I kind of get on the mantra about like, I'm very much a story first person. I'll forgive some bad CGI for a good story. I just will. So
yeah, oh, for sure. All the New Orleans scenes were filmed on a Paramount lot in New Orleans.
In Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah. And good grief. In Los Angeles, yes. Yeah.
New Orleans probably didn't have a ton. I mean, they were obviously always made movies in New Orleans, but probably, I mean, now it is, I mean, that's where Mauritius Union is headquartered. Yeah. I mean, they make a lot of stuff down there, and not just that, Dean Devlin has a studio in New Orleans.
That is true. That's where they're making the leverage, which I also really want to work on.
So, you know,
sore about that.
So now that I say that, I'm like, okay, so Dean Devlin's already established in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It could happen.
You know, they actually, it's funny, as much filming as they do in New Orleans, the number of times they've built New Orleans somewhere else. They built a whole New Orleans street for, the original? No, not the originals. The other one. No, it was the originals set in New Orleans, and they filmed it in Atlanta, and they just built one New Orleans street.
Well, it's like they did a Christmas movie here a couple of years ago because they decided it was going to be cheaper to make the Christmas movie set in New Orleans here in Natchez because they didn't have to build anything.
Right.
Because Natchez looks like New Orleans.
Yeah, they just went and shot like 2 days in New Orleans to get like Jackson Square and stuff.
Yeah.
That's always fun. A lot of the Power Rangers shot in New Zealand to avoid union actors having them do American accents. One time they had an episode where they vacationed in New Zealand and they had to fake New Zealand accents.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's great. You know, movie magic, friends. It's never not entertaining.
Yep. But I think that's probably a good place to wrap the conversation up for tonight.
Yeah.
But definitely going to be revisiting this, Nick. I'll definitely be getting with you and anybody else here that wants to get in on some Stargate episodes. I'm excited about Stargate, so we're going to talk about it some. So,
yeah.
And then eventually, you know, when we start getting real news, we'll start up a Stargate segment, and then hopefully we'll still be doing this when the show comes out, and we can just sit around and talk about it every night, every time a new episode drops. But thank you to everybody that joined us in the chat tonight. Y'all make this very enjoyable and way more lively. So thanks to everybody in the chat tonight. And that's going to do it for tonight. You can find us over at @Fictionary on Twitter. And don't forget that new audio episode dropping tomorrow morning. So until next time, wait a minute. There it is. I couldn't find my button. Good night, everybody. Until next time, may the force be with you.